Hello everyone, my name's Chloe Madison and this is my YouTube channel, and I was literally planning on having a whole sit down, introduce myself, but I'm rushing to a massage. What's more me coded than rushing? I'm a professional rusher. So yeah, this is my introduction. But I kind of just showed you my like little morning routine. But yeah, my name's Chloe Madison. I'm 21 years old. I'm a college student. And yeah, this channel's just kind of gonna be taking you along my life. I've kind of always wanted to do this, and so this is kind of me just like going for it. It's 2024, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to start this channel. But right now I'm going to a massage. I have horrible back pain. Horrible back pain, and so I'm hoping that they're gonna fix it for me. But yeah, let's go. Okay, I just got out of the massage, and I don't know if you can tell, but I literally have like line from the seat. But she literally just did me so right. I needed that. She said I had like all these knots like against my shoulder blade, and like we literally had to switch to deep tissue halfway. That's how bad it was. But I'm so grateful that I just did that, because I look literally a crazy person, but whatever. But I'm so grateful I just did that, because now I feel so much better. Like, it was getting to the point where like when I would breathe in, I would feel like pain between my shoulder blades, which is like so not normal. So I'm so grateful that I did that, and yeah, I'm super happy. And I'm gonna schedule, oops, sorry man. I'm gonna schedule again with her, because that was so beneficial for me. So yay. Okay, I just got back from the gym, and I kind of filmed some of my workout that I did. Mainly what I just did there, I kind of just freestyled that. I did a circuit kind of, so I'll put on the clips like how much I did of it, but it's basically just 3 rounds of those repeated workouts. And to be honest, weight wise, like the ball I was using was 8 pounds to do the Russian twists, and the pullback things for my shoulders, I did 20 pounds for that. So really I just try to do like anything to move my body, to be honest. My goal for this year is to work out 3 times a week, because I am a college student and I haven't started school back yet. So it is easier for me to kind of like be super active whenever I want. But like once I'm on a time schedule and I have like classes and stuff, it is gonna be a little harder for me. So my goal then is just 3 times a week, because that's just gonna be what's most doable for me, because I'm gonna have homework and work and things like that. But I am gonna stretch every day, because as you know, I went to the massage earlier today because my shoulder blades were all messed up. So we're gonna stretch every day to prevent that, but working out is just gonna be 3 times a week. I'm just gonna do my best, to be honest. I've, in the past, done those crazy things where it's like, oh, I'm gonna work out every day and lift 5 billion pounds, but like, life is life, and you're gonna have other things you need to do, and like, as long as I work out 3 times a week and I'm active and I stretch my body and I try to do the best I can, that's really all I'm gonna ask of myself, because I'm just doing my best out here, you know? So that's one thing I've learned is like, don't put all this freaking pressure on yourself to like do all this crazy stuff. It's just do your best, to be honest. But now I'm gonna make pumpkin baked oats. I got the recipe from another YouTuber called Linda Sun. I'm obsessed with her. So I'm gonna make that. It's my first time making it, so let's see how it goes, but I'm excited. And for this recipe, I'm gonna put all of the measurements later on in this video, but you just need eggs, you need maple syrup, salt, sorry about my cat, pumpkin puree, you need baking powder, rolled oats, vanilla extract, chocolate chips if you want, that's your choice, if you want to add those on top, milk, and then pumpkin spice seasoning. That's what you're gonna need. Ready? But yeah, and you're also gonna want to preheat the oven to 375, and you're gonna want to bake it for about 30 to 35 minutes. But yeah, so let's get going. Yeah, like do me right. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna put some oil in there. It's orange. Okay, and then probably gonna want some sort of. Okay, I just wanted to sit down real quick and kind of explain my ins and outs of 2024. I bet a lot of you have been seeing this on either like TikTok or other YouTube videos, and I just thought it would be fun to kind of like sit down and talk about these since this is my first video and it's kind of entering the new year of 2024. I just thought it would be fun to share some things that I think are in and outs of 2024. So first I'm going to start with the ins, and the first thing that I have on my ins list is chasing dreams. And this is kind of something that has been my dream for a while. I actually used to have a YouTube channel in high school, and now I'm 21 in college and a senior in college. And this is something that I've kind of always wanted to start again. It's always made me really happy whenever I did do it in high school, and I always had a lot of fun. And so I was kind of just like, I had found myself making a lot of excuses and kind of a lot of, I guess, reasons of why I don't have time to make a YouTube channel. And that's totally real. All of that is real. I have school and I have a job. And so it definitely makes sense, but I feel like it's something that I enjoy so much. So I really want to try to make time for it and try to prioritize it. And so when I say chasing dreams, I kind of mean like going out there and doing things that kind of seem, I guess, not impossible, but don't, I guess, necessarily seem realistic for you. You only live this life once. So if you want to, I guess, be an influencer on TikTok, do that. If you want to start a fashion company, do that. Like, the world is kind of your oyster. And so I feel like doing things that bring you joy that may seem, I guess, a little bit out of the box or may seem unrealistic, it's kind of dumb to hold yourself back from that because, like I said, you only get this life once. So chase your dreams and do whatever you want to do because you only live once and you don't want to end your life with any regrets. And then my next in is uplifting others and myself. I find over the course of the past few years, I've kind of been in like, I wouldn't say a funk, but like my junior year of college, I was definitely in a very negative headspace, and I really rarely ever focused on the positives in my life, and that in turn kind of reflected on how I treated other people and how I treated myself. And yeah, I just was in a really negative headspace. And going into this year, I really want to prioritize uplifting others and myself. I mean, I've always been a kind person, but I feel like over the course of time, you know, you kind of forget the power of like complimenting someone or, you know, encouraging someone to do something that they've been talking about for a long time, or encouraging someone to go after that job that they've been thinking that they possibly wouldn't be able to get. Or, you know, even doing that for yourself, you know, chasing big dreams and kind of going out of the box for yourself. Maybe accomplishing things that you feel like are kind of out of your toolbox or kind of out of your reach, just trying them and putting yourself out there and getting uncomfortable. And so I think it's really important to uplift yourself and others around you. And to like, even like if I'm going to class and I'm in the elevator with a random person, telling them that I like their outfit or asking them how their day was. And if they say that they got a good grade on a test, being encouraging to them and being like, good job, that's amazing, you're doing great, things like that. And I feel like especially in college, a lot of us are so focused on striving for more and so focused on accomplishing as many things as we can that we often forget to sit and be present in the things that we are currently doing and being proud of ourselves. And so I think being that voice for others is really powerful and can be really impactful. So that's going to be one of my ends I'm taking into 2024. And then my other N is stretching. As you know, and earlier in this video, I had to go to the massage therapist because my back had like a billion knots in it because of hunching at my computer and not stretching. I literally never stretch ever, ever, ever. I'm doing it now, obviously. I've been doing it for like a week straight now. So I'm on a new path, but I literally never stretched ever. And everyone around me would always be like, you need to stretch, you need to stretch. And I had the most agonizing pain all the time in my body. And I just never thought to take anyone's advice and stretch. But after I've been stretching, I do it before I go to bed. It truly has changed my life. Not changed my life, but it really has made everything a lot better. It's not only a way to obviously stretch my muscles, because us as women too, we hold a lot of emotions and tension and stress in our hips. And so you need to work all of that out. And also us as human beings, we hold a lot of tension in our head and our neck. And so we need to make it a priority to stretch those things because it really does improve your mental health. It exerts energy at the end of a long day. It exerts stress and tension. And I've just seen over the course of this week that like stretching before bed has me going into bed in my nighttime routine in a lot calmer state. And I have less anxiety going into sleep, because sometimes the problem that I have is like when I go to bed, my mind kind of like races and it just thinks about every single thing in the entire world. And so stretching has really been able to just help me ground myself and kind of exert some energy. So I'm doing that in 2024. I'm sticking with that. If I stick with anything, it needs to be that, because seriously, like when I went to the massage lady, I was not going in there for deep tissue. And as soon as I laid down and she felt my back, she was like, girl, we need to do deep tissue. And I was like, wow, I'm really at that point. And so I need to prioritize that, and you should prioritize it too. So yeah. My next N is setting healthy boundaries. This is something that I'm still currently working on with my therapist. I am a horrible boundary setter. Actually, I'm not going to say that. I'm uplifting myself. I'm a good boundary setter, and it's a work in progress for myself. But I'm really bad at that. And I feel like a lot of people in my generation are really bad at that. I feel like my generation is a generation of yeses. I feel like we constantly have this like hustle culture going on. And that's a great culture to have. It's great to be ambitious. It's great to have goals. But I will say that setting healthy boundaries in your life, whether it be with your job or whether it be with schoolwork or with friends or with being social, is so important, because setting healthy boundaries is really to prioritize yourself and your well-being and your mental health. And, you know, I've done jobs before that were very time consuming, and I often was a yes person. I said yes to a lot, and I didn't prioritize my mental health. I didn't prioritize journaling. I didn't prioritize going on walks to relieve, brain stress and foggy brain and all of that type of stuff. Like I never did any of that. And it literally left me emotionally drained at the end of it. And when you don't set boundaries and you constantly push yourself and you constantly never give yourself time, it actually will end up affecting your work. And I was not showing up as my best self to my job or to my schoolwork or to my friends. I was just constantly in a state of stress and anxiety. And it's honestly a horrible place to be in. It's not fun. And so definitely setting healthy boundaries with those things is really good for your mental health. And so learning how to do that, and also learning how to do that with like friendships is a really big thing as well. Like, if you for some reason have had a super stressful day and your friend asked you to go to a party, setting that boundary of like, okay, I need some me time right now, and maybe going to a party right now is not the best thing for my mental health or for my personal well-being. So setting that boundary and being like, you know what, I can't go this time, but I'd love to go next time. And if they're truly your friend, they're going to respect that, and they're going to be happy that you're putting yourself first. And that's one thing too, is if people in your life are mad about you putting yourself first and doing what's best for you, they are not your friend. They are not meant to be in your life. They are not somebody who is for you. And so keep that in mind as well. And that goes for literally everybody, your job, people around you, because I know a lot of people being in college who never prioritize their self. They are constantly doing work all the time, staying up till 4 a.m. studying. And like, yes, of course, studying is important. Yes, of course, getting your work done is important. But all of those people that I know that never prioritize anything else but work, it ends up being, I watch them. They are never fulfilled. They are unhappy with themselves. They do not have confidence within themselves. And it really overall hurts them as a person. And my next thing on my ends list is gratitude and journaling. I've kind of always been a journaler. I'm somebody who, I spiral with my thoughts a lot. I'm somebody who constantly is thinking about things. It could be my ADHD, but I'm constantly thinking about something. So journaling has become something that's definitely really helped me manage a lot of my emotions and a lot of my thoughts that maybe aren't rooted in reality. And so one thing I will say about journaling that has helped me, that could possibly help you, is when, for example, say you're going into a really big conversation with somebody. I recommend that you go in your journal and you write down what you want to say in that conversation, all of the points that you want to get across. And this could be with a boyfriend, a friend, anybody who you are having like constructive conversations with. And you can write down everything that you want to say, and you can write down the things that you're mad about, if you're mad about something, things that you're annoyed about, or anything like that. And it's a way to get all of that anxiety, anger, frustration out on paper so that when you go into that conversation or that constructive feedback, you're not feeling those emotions towards it. You're able to come into it with a much clearer headspace and more peace within yourself because you've already released those emotions on paper. And on paper, you can't hurt anybody's feelings. You can't, cause any rifts between you and somebody else because that's your own personal journal that you are able to release all of your emotions in, and nobody has to read it. And so it's kind of like your safe space. And I've really benefited from that. And it's not even just even things too that I'm having irrational anxieties about. I can just release them on paper instead of having to, release them in my actions or release them in my words towards somebody. It's just a place that you can kind of confide in without actually having to put it out into the universe. And also gratitude is a huge thing. I, over the course of my college career, have really struggled with being present in the things that I have in my life and the people that I have in my life. And so in 2024, I really, really want to make that a priority to just remind myself how many things I have to be grateful for. And just to remind myself that there's so much fruitfulness in my life. There's so many good things coming into my life and that are already present in my life. And just reflecting on that on paper is so powerful. And I am doing it currently every morning. And it's just a way to kind of start your day on a positive note. And I do want to show you a journal that I recently got that I want to share. It's literally changed my life, and I will link it in the description. It's $11 on Amazon. And this is the journal. It's called Healing Through Words. And I've done 2 prompts so far, and it is literally, I love it so much so far. I'll give you an example of what one of the first prompts was that I did. So basically what it wants, it has you, so you take 10 deep breaths, and then you basically think about the word trauma, and then you draw a picture of a time that you have went through a traumatic event. And then you write down words or phrases that came to your mind when thinking about that traumatic event. And then you basically write down with those words or phrases that you used, basically short paragraphs of how that moment made you feel and how those words impacted you. And it's honestly just a way to literally heal without actually having to, discuss it with somebody. Because I know some people too, who I am a huge therapy advocate. I go to therapy myself. I believe that everybody should go to therapy. But I know that not a lot of people are super comfortable with talking about some of the traumatic events that they've went through in their life. And so this is a place that I feel like would be very beneficial for those types of people. Because you can talk about your traumatic event on a piece of paper and nobody has to read it, and you don't have to say it out loud. So you don't have to go through that uncomfortable conversation at all. And so I think it just would be really beneficial for people like that. I totally get that. It's hard to talk about those types of things, and it's hard to kind of like, once you say it out loud, it's reality. And sometimes, although I do think it's beneficial to face, you know, your uncomfortable memories and truly just get them out of your system so you can heal, I do think that this is a way to kind of silently heal if you don't want that to be kind of out in the open. Link in the description. It's just something that I wanted to share. It's been great for me so far. I love journaling, and I love journal prompts. I know a lot of people too, like I know some friends that like journaling has kind of been hard for them, like just like a blank journal. And so if you're that type of person who doesn't really know what to journal about, this could be good for you because it gives you like prompts and stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. And my last in is reading. I want to read more, and I actually have been doing very well at this. I have ADHD, so reading has always been kind of hard for me. It's very hard for me to like sit down and like read a book, which I know sounds so sad, but it's just hard for me. It's hard for me to like get into a plot and things like that. And so I've always kind of been really into self-help books. And so the book that I have been reading before bed is this book. It's Get Out of Your Head, Stopping the Spiral of Toxic Thoughts by Jennie Allen. And this is a book that has really, really helped me. And I'm somebody too who, and we all do this, but I'm somebody who truly is, I have downward spirals of toxic thoughts all the time. And sometimes a lot of it is not even rooted in reality. And it's just something that I've struggled with for a long time. And so this has really helped me. It kind of talks about how, you know, mental illness is definitely a thing and needing therapy is definitely a thing. But when you go down on those downward spirals of toxic thoughts that aren't necessarily true or grounded in reality, you have a choice of being able to choose to stop that or continue on. And so this kind of teaches you techniques and ways to kind of stop in the middle of it and kind of take your power back from those anxious thoughts. And that is all of my ins for 2024. And so now we're going to move on to the outs. And the first one for out is complaining. I have been a complainer for a long time in my life, and I'm wanting to stop that in 2024 because I've learned that when you put negativity into the world, negativity will come back to you. And so also the things I complain about as well are just so small compared to how fruitful and amazing my life is. And yeah, I just don't want to complain as much. I want to be positive. I want to speak positive things into the world. I want to just not complain about things. There's no point in complaining. And of course, we're humans. We're going to complain sometimes, but I really want to try to make it a priority to do better about that and prioritize kind of just being optimistic about things. Because also when you're optimistic about things, usually it ends up working in your favor. That's kind of how the world works. It's kind of like karma. When you do good, good will come to you. And when you do bad, bad will come to you. So that's kind of just my motto. I just want to stop complaining. And my next out is control. This is something that is run in my family. We love to control situations in my family. And it is something that like me and my sister have talked about it. Like it is truly something that I have struggled with for a very, very long time. I love to be in control of situations. I don't like when I'm out of control of things, like when I don't know how things are going to go or what the end result is going to be. And so I'm constantly just trying to control all of these situations around me that are uncontrollable. I also am somebody too who doesn't really do well with things kind of going wrong. Like, for example, like if I'm supposed to get on a flight and the flight ends up being delayed and then that delays the rest of my plans, I don't deal with that very well whatsoever. I need it to work the way that's going to work, and it needs to be that way, you know? And I've always been that way. It's been something that's very emotionally exhausting. When things don't go the way that I think that they're going to go planned, I have a really I just have trouble handling that. And so, but it always leaves me emotionally drained. It always leaves me in a horrible space, and I always have an internal freak out, and it's just so anxiety ridden, and it doesn't benefit me whatsoever. And so I've been talking to my therapist about it, and I'm letting go of control this year. And she kind of told me a motto to go by. And the quote is, I'm fine with whatever happens, because I am fine with whatever happens. Whatever happens, happens. And that's the beauty of life. Not everything's going to go right. It's literally, this is so corny, but you literally have to have rain for flowers to grow. And so I'm just trying to embrace all things. My next out is judging my body. This is a huge thing that everybody in the freaking world does, is judge their body. And I actually literally watched a YouTube video the other day from this girl, Linda Sun, and she kind of explained how like our bodies has been the one thing in our entire life that has been with us every single day of our life and has been working and being there for us and working for us every single second of every single day. It repairs you after you have sickness. It repairs your muscles when your muscles are strained. It heals your bones when your bones break. It is something that is constantly there for you. And so it is just so painful to think that the first thing that we do is judge it and speak negativity over it. I'm just trying to get out of that. I don't want to judge my body anymore. I don't want to constantly be critiquing how it needs to look, how it needs to do this. I should just be happy that I have a vessel that is here for me and is healing me and is keeping me going each and every day. And we all need to do that. We all need to remember that this is our temple and this is something that is so sacred to us. So if we constantly speak negativity over it, that's so hurtful and that's so not okay. My next out is comparison, and that kind of goes along with the judging my body. I have a circumstance that I want to share that kind of was like the peak of my comparison. I can't remember if it was sophomore year. I think it was sophomore year. Sophomore year of college, there was this organization that I tried out for at my college. And it was something that was kind of considered, like in my mind back then, it was kind of considered like cool, I guess you could say. It's literally just a college organization. Like it's not anything big, but in my mind, I worked it up to be this like crazy thing, but it's really not. And I tried out for it and I didn't get in, and I tried out a second time, I think like the second semester or something, and I didn't get in again. And I was actually extremely butthurt about it because my friends were in it, people I knew were in it, and I just felt like, well, if they're going to be in it, then I want to be in it. And when I didn't get in, it was something that was really hard for me. Like not super hard for me, but it really made me compare myself because I was like, well, what do they have to get into this organization that I don't have? And it kind of made me feel like really down on myself. And I was like, well, and then you go back and you think about the interview process, and I literally just broke apart every single thing I said. And I was like, oh, did I say that? Was I weird when I said that? Like going down this entire spiral of toxic thoughts. And it just was so emotionally draining to me. I look back at it and I'm just like, I was just comparing myself, and I felt like I was not significant enough to be in it because all these other people were getting into it and I wasn't, when in reality, it just wasn't aligned with my path, and that's okay. And the people that were in it, it's okay. I'm happy for them. You know, everybody has a different path. Everybody has different endeavors. And just because these sort of people got this opportunity doesn't mean that I'm any less than them or that they're any above me. You know, it's like, you just have to really realize that everything happens for a reason and that certain paths are for different people, and that's totally okay. And it doesn't have to all be the same. You don't have to have the same path or future as your friends. You don't have to have the same path or future as the random girl that gets all of the internships in one of your classes. Like, you don't have to have any of that. And I feel like, especially in my generation, we are constantly trying to gain more. We are constantly trying to get more internships, get more jobs, this and that. And it's very easy to compare yourself. It's very easy to look at other people's life and be like, well, why am I not doing that? Why am I not getting those opportunities? Why am I not putting myself out there? Why don't I have more friends to go out with? Why don't I go to all these parties or get invited to all these parties? And it's just so silly. And it's just, it takes away from the fruitfulness of life when you're constantly longing for something else. And it's just, the comparison needs to stop, is basically what I'm trying to say. And my last out is doubt. I have been a huge doubter of myself in the past, not really anymore. I feel like I'm getting better at it, but I'm still a work in progress. Doubting yourself is something that I feel like is so powerful over your confidence. And I feel like too, I junior year of college got into a job that I really didn't feel qualified for, which I look back at it now and I'm kind of like, why did I not feel qualified for that? Because I literally got the job. So they obviously felt like I was qualified for it. I don't know. But I don't know. I got into the job and I felt the whole time like, oh, you know, like I don't feel qualified for this. I don't feel like I'm up to par with the people that I'm working with. I don't feel like I'm as smart as them or something like that. And it was constantly a thought that I had. And I look back at it and I accomplished so much in that job, and I did so much that was so out of my comfort zone, and I accomplished so many things that I would have never thought I would have done. And I look back at it now and I just constantly doubted myself, and I reflect and I'm like, oh my God, I did so many things that I'm so proud of, and so many things that I necessarily never thought I would do. And yeah, just doubting yourself is so silly. We are people who can do so much, and we are capable of so much. And when opportunities come to you, they come to you because you are worthy of them and you are capable of them. And so you need to take that and run with it. And you need to stop doubting yourself, and you need to remind yourself each and every day that you have all of the skills inside of you that you need to succeed. And it's really just up to you and your mindset to be able to move forward and accomplish those goals. And so, yeah, that is my last out. And so those are the ins and outs of my 2024. And I really hope you enjoyed that. And I hope that I maybe encouraged you or inspired you, hopefully. And yeah, this is kind of going to be the end of this video, of my first video. It's going to be the end of my first video. And I really, really hope that you enjoyed it. I don't really have much else going on for the rest of the night, so that's kind of why I'm going to end it here. I really hope you enjoyed this, and there will definitely be more videos coming soon. I'm hoping to kind of bring my friends into my channel and show you some of my college. I think that would be really fun. I really love my major. I'm a communication and PR major, by the way. I don't know if I said that. But show you some of my classes and some of my work that I'm going on. I really want this channel to just be fun. I really want it to show you my life and the things I've learned along the way, and kind of just, I don't know, just have fun with it. Oh, and I hope that you subscribe to my channel to see more and like this video. And I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. Bye.